It's a pleasure to see you here. And thank you very much for your presentation. And the same to Dr. Andreas Kraus. It's for me a nice surprise. Before I put my question to you, I just would like to, if you allow me, a story that many people for sure will know, already know, is that the story of the two salesmen. One of them is sent to a certain village to sell shoes, and he made the report saying there's no chance at all to sell shoes because everybody is with barefoot. And the second one goes to the same village and sees the people with barefoot and makes a report saying there's a huge opportunity of selling shoes because everybody is with barefoot. Okay, this is before my question now, and this is very provocative to you as Lufhtansa consultant member, is that we have here in Portugal an airport that many people say it's a white elephant. I don't know if you have the expression in English or German, but some people also could think that this is the case where there's plenty of opportunities to sell shoes or aircraft or whatsoever. I'm talking about Beja. Beja is there. It's nothing that is not going to be constructed. It's nothing that's not being planned. It's already there. It's installed. It's ready to start, or even already started with one or two aircraft in 1 year. This is the story. These are the facts, if I'm not mistaken. You, as Lufhtansa consultant, would you accept the challenge to indicate some ways in order to optimize that white elephant? If somebody wants to call it white elephant, or other people would call it as an opportunity to develop not only the airport itself, but the region, and from many aspects. That's my question to you as a Lufhtansa consultant person. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't even have to think about it for a long time because it's very easy. Yes, of course. Because actually the situation that you have, you're very lucky in having one military airport only that is converted into a civil use. Just imagine after the reunification of Germany and the end of the Cold War, there were 130 airports in Germany which were left from military use. 130. And 40 of them tried to get a civil use, and 90 of them just left it right at the beginning. But out of those 40, I would guess roughly 20 made it into a stable use and are still used for civil purposes. Yeah, there is a huge experience that we have in Germany and that we have at Lufhtansa Consulting into looking into what kind of business segments do make sense. And there are some. Aviation business is a very colorful business. There is much more than what we are seeing here in Lisbon on the apron each and every day. They are very peculiar, very small market niche that one could think about, but one needs to have a very structured approach. One needs to be on site in Beja, have a look at the infrastructure, have a look at what is this good for, and what kind of customer segments I could attract. And then you need to set up a strategy. And of course, as always, in every business development project, you can come to a conclusion it does make sense in aspects A, B, and C, but you could also come to a conclusion it really is a challenge. But it can still be an operation once the region, as I mentioned in the beginning, accept that the airport as such is not profitable. Airport operation, but still, let's say from a national economic point of view, because of the effects it has to its region, it is still very valuable for the region. So that is the kind of line of thinking you need to take on board. And yeah, sure, if this Beja Airport.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
So let's do just 3 questions if possible. The first one is simple. Do you think there is a correlation between the function of an airport and its role as a revenue generator in terms of interest for the private investments? The second one is if you see that the European metrics of hubs will tend to have a concentration of hubs or a dispersion of the hub structure. And the third one, a conditional question. If you consider that there will be a concentration of hubs, if the Portuguese case, which operates a hub in a niche of market, if it has a possibility of continue or to develop its niche.
Correlation of hub and revenue generation, a clear yes, for sure, because a hub is actually kind of an accelerator on traffic numbers. Yeah. So if you just take a simple number of revenue per passenger, and you just have more passengers due to the hub function, then it's a clear correlation between the one and the other. There are airports which have a very high share of transfer traffic, and even though don't have so much passenger revenues. Like we're currently running a project in Iceland, and Iceland Air is a very interesting carrier when it comes to that, and they are having a very short minimum connecting time, which is perfect for their schedule, but very bad for their revenues, because when the people arrive, they actually have to run to the next plane, which is very close, and which is kind of far away from the retail area. So in that very moment, it is not supportive, but in each and every other location I've seen, there's a clear correlation. Will we have more or less hubs in Europe? A very interesting question, and I would pay money to get the right answer. Because let's say if
I was trying it for free.
Let's say 2 years ago, where we had only this airline business model of alliances, and everything will merge into alliances, and in 2 or 3 years we will always only have alliances and no airlines outside. That was the kind of the old thinking when everything was stable. And the hubs were set, there was little change, and once, let's say, everything was set already, and we would just have expected stability. What we now see as this, let's say, this tendency towards alliances seems to be going into the second level, and taking over, and ownership exchange in the airline business has become more and more important. I would tend to see less hubs in the future. So just look at America, what's going on there. American Airlines and US Airways are merging, and I can assure you that within the next 2 years we will be seeing less hubs in their system, for sure. Charlotte, Pittsburgh, especially the one of the smaller part in this new airline, I will be very sure that they will not retain so many hubs within one network. Okay. In Europe, it might be a little different, as they still, let's say, keep the nationalities of the different cultures inside. So even though Lufthansa has bought Swiss and has bought Austrian, they would never ever dare to, let's say, get rid of the Zurich or the Vienna hub. And I think that is also kind of a given. That's why I don't see so many changes in Europe. And Lisbon as such, as a hub, is a perfect location. And bearing in mind, everybody talks about the dynamics of Latin America, and for a new location, that would be just a new airport would be a perfect location for a hub for each and every alliance.
Although it's also related to low yield traffic consideration.
I wouldn't say that this has to have this doesn't have to be stable. Let's say I'm quite sure if we see the economic dynamics in Latin America continuing, this will be a high yield market of the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to add something, one of the problems of the hubs in European countries is a problem of the space to grow, and some of them now, as you know, are congested and with less space to grow. London, Heathrow is a special case. So it's not so easy to concentrate the operation as it is for airlines, because the airport is a physical situation. So if the airport have no space to grow, it's difficult, of course. And even the English people studied the project of building a new airport or on the river or on the sea, I don't know, something amazing, because now they don't have space to grow. Heathrow and also Gatwick. So it's not so easy to concentrate it more and more. So is why I believe I agree with you that we have an opportunity here, because we have space to build a new airport, and we have an opportunity to build here. Depends, of course, on the development of TAP, on the future of TAP. It's not only the part of the airport, because the success cases of us have always a strong airline and a good airport. It's both that is necessary to have the success.
Thank you.
More questions? No more? We can finish. To say once again, gracias. Obrigado in Portuguese. Was a very, very special moment for me. So I thank you once
was
again.
a pleasure coming.
And I expect this is a starting point for new initiatives. Who knows? Okay, thank you. Boa tarde.